Sid Uber X, Episode 4, The Party Never Ends. It's a drizzly Saturday night. I'm refreshed from my home-time dinner break, but annoyed with myself for hastily accepting a multi-rider Uber pool job. I reckon the multiple stops involved in Uber's latest money-making scheme are a pain in the ass for drivers, so I tend to avoid them. But in the excitement of being offered a job while at home watching the Blues Brothers, I accept it before I realise it's a pool job. Bugger. I drive around the corner and after some confusion find my first passenger, a young Mongolian woman. Another first. We drive through the drizzle to pick up rider number 2, a Chilean dude. Must be obscure nationality night. After dropping off the Mongolian in Paddington, the Chilean informs me that the friend he was meeting has bailed and that he's no longer going to his original destination. He wants to go to the entertainment quarter instead. As this is actually closer, I'm happy to drop him there. He's grateful and says he's going to a dance party featuring the world-famous DJ Carl Cox. When I mention that I've heard of him, the Chilean asks me if I want to go. I laugh. This is the third Saturday in a row I've had an offer like this. 2 weeks earlier, a trio of very drunk manly beach boys ask if I want to drop some acid and go tripping with them. Short-lived temptation was followed by boring but wise good sense. I declined. 7 days later, a coke-fueled Cockney dude offered me $200 to come out partying with him and his mates. Tempting, but likely to be messy and awkward. Again, good sense won out. But now, as I turn into the entertainment quarter and see that I'm about to get stuck in traffic trying to get back out, I take the plunge. Yes, I will go to my first dance party in decades. After all, I am a dancing fool. I love to lose myself to the beat, not giving a toss how silly I might look. So I graciously accept the chilled Chilean's offer and swing into the overpriced car park, resigned that it'll cost me $25 for the privilege. The drizzle is ramping up to outright rain. As we hustle towards the gates, whoops, I slip and fall. That's right, my shoes no longer have any traction, making wet surfaces especially dodgy. The Chilean asks if I'm alright as I scramble up. He possibly begins to regret taking a senior citizen to a dance party. I assure him I'm fine. At the gate, we need to show photo ID to confirm we're over 18. The attendant doesn't even bother to look at mine. We enter the foyer and hear the thumping boom, boom, boom from the main room. I offer to buy my benefactor a drink. Thanks, I'll have what you're having. I laugh. Mate, I'm having water so I can still drive. He decides a can of vodka lime and soda is more appealing. Drinks in hand, we enter the auditorium. Blue lasers slice through the air. Shirtless peacocks strut and shuffle. Girls in oversized glasses glide through the crowd with intent. On stage, a rotund black DJ pushes buttons. The double C emblem behind him confirms that he's the event star, Carl Cox. The Chilean and I find some space and begin to move to the groove. I suddenly become aware of how slippery the alcohol-coated floor is under my worn-out soles. Bugger. Throw in hundreds of crushed cans and abandoned water bottles sliding about chaotically, and the chances of me crashing to the concrete are as high as most of the dancers. I briefly wonder whether or not to cut my losses, thank the Chilean, and head back to my Mazda where I belong. But I persist, focus on my feet, and soon transform into a grey-haired dancing fool. It feels fantastic to let loose, dissolve into the moment, not giving a hoot about the glances and stares directed my way. I eventually notice that the Chilean has disappeared, possibly embarrassed, possibly on the hunt for younger companions. Oh well. I dance on, careful of the floor, always careful of the floor. I become distracted by a 20-something guy smiling at me. Hey, good on you. You're my inspiration. The party never ends. I smile, resisting the urge to tell him to get fucked. He asks why I'm there. Stupidly, I tell him the truth. He laughs and turns to his girlfriend. Hey, this guy's an Uber driver whose rider had a spare ticket. I close my eyes and dance, wishing I had lied. I should have told him that I was Carl Cox's manager. I decide that if I were the DJ's manager, I'd tell him to lift his game a bit. The music's not bad, but has too many lulls. A little later, there's a tap on my shoulder. I turn to see a girl, probably the teen side of 20. I have been taking care not to let my loose hands flail about too much, terrified they may cop an unintentional feel. I'd be instantly set upon as a lecherous old groper. Why else would an old man be at a dance party? "Excuse me, do you have any gear? We'll buy some off you." I crack up. So there is another reason why an old codger would be mixing it with the kids, to sell drugs. Sorry, all I've got is water. I turn and dance on, until I fall. Crash. Ouch. I scramble up, imagining the sniggers around me, laughing at the geriatric who succumbed to the inevitable. I decide to find another spot, and luckily discover a seam in the concrete that offers a bit more grip. This coincides with a change of DJs. The new guy, Paco someone or other, is good, and the vibe lifts. I get back into my groove, stomping away like a madman, until finally, a couple of hours after arriving, I decide I've had enough. With a smile on my dial, I head back outside, where I slip and fall. But I'm well practiced at this now and am soon on my feet. "Nice recovery," says the bemused security guard as I walk out the gate. I hop in the Mazda and instantly get a job. I pick up 3 Northern Beach boys, heading 40 kilometres north to Avalon. Yes! I ask them if they've just been at the party. "Yep." As casually as I can manage, I say, "Yeah, me too." "What? No way!" And for the next hour, as my Mazda crawls up the coast, I am a legend.
Sid UberX is an In Your Ears podcast. Narrated by Rick Herbert. Written, produced and edited by Charles Amsden. With music by Night Radio. And special dance party music by Cairo. This series is based on a blog that's available at siduberx.blog. For more information on this and other podcasts, check out the In Your Ears Podcasts Facebook page. If you've enjoyed this episode, please subscribe and spread the word.